Alright, welcome back to another Age of the Ring Season 2 League cast. On the upper right hand side at Gloomglens, we happen to have Badger playing as the Reign of Ironfoot, going head to head with Ahwehawe, the King of BFME, playing as Misty Mountains. Now, it looks like Ahwe's doing a 4-farm start with the 2 Goblin Cave. Oh, actually not a 2 Goblin Cave, but he is doing a 4-farm start with 1 Goblin Cave. And it looks like that was a misclick. He did not mean to actually put his builder inside that tunnel. But he is getting the 2nd Goblin Cave out now, and Badger with the 3-farm start and double Hall of Warrior production coming up. Kicking off with the Ravens of Erebor for the economy boost and the unit production. It looks like he's going to likely be doing some early creeping. I'm not sure which Warglare that will be quite yet, but that is his move, and we happen to see that, let's see, Ahwe is sending some goblins around the map first, trying to see if there's any mines on the bottom half of Gloomglens here. But right now it looks like that's going to be the first one to enter the base. And we have another goblin battalion, I think, trying to scout for another forward mine shaft. So we'll see what happens here. Badger already kicking off the creeping, and it looks like we have a level 2 Hall of Warriors for Grimhammers already. So Ahwe is going to be getting his Goblin gameplay countered by Grimhammers for sure. And we'll have to see how he adapts and whether or not he pivots to archers as sooner than later. But you can see that Ahwe is trying to find mine shafts placed in the decent spots that you can here on Gloomglens. He is trying to be rather aware. And Badger actually going for the Erebor archers, as you can see in this production building. Yeah, he's trying to scout for those forward tunnels quite a bit right now, but he is likely to get this mine shaft. I don't believe Badger's going to save it. His Grimhammers are in kind of a rough position, but never mind. His Erebor archers have arrived in time. So despite his initial positioning here, the goblins weren't able to clump on that too well. 500 CP for Erebor against 550 of Misty. Always yet to choose a tier 1. And it looks like Badger's moving over towards this Warglare to creep, so they are bound to get natural sprinters quite soon. And Grimhammers are working their way again to chip away at the Goblin harass. Another mine shaft coming down over here, and we do see that Erebor is on the offensive here. They are inside of Ahwe's base. And Ahwe has already pivoted to Goblin Archers. Good stuff from him, knowing the counter to Grimhammers. And let's see, he's very close to getting a rebuild, but he's not going to have it for this mine shaft, so that's a loss right there. 420 out, 450 CP, so he is CP capped right now. He's got about 300 kind of idle at this point on that production buildings. I guess I would say just 300 idle on the production building. You definitely want to be very cautious and self-aware on your CP when you're trying to queue up units. Only queue up 1 at a time. Still no tier 1 from Misty Mountains. He does have Ravens of Erebor though, so you could cast it here, get some eco bonus, and maybe even upgrade this Hall Warriors to level 2, just have double Grimhammer prod where needed.
Dwarven Rangers reporting.
You know, I haven't seen people do this. Ooh, Goblin Archers possibly getting the builder? Is he going to use the poison arrows? Oh, he got so... Wait. No, he got lucky. If he dropped the poison arrow on that builder, that would have been pretty bad for Badger there. Good amount of Goblin Archers, though. Do we see Erebor getting a workshop at all? No workshop yet from Badger. 650 CP. He's around the point at which he could do that for sure. Just needs to get a little bit more money. He's dropping a tunnel right next to a mine shaft. Would like to see the poison ability get used on these Goblin Archers for sure. And now we have the workshop coming for Badger. 10 points here for Erebor, so 3 points in the lead on Badger's side. Always feeding a little bit here. It's not like there's tremendous amount of harass in this one. But Ahwehawe is now going for the troll lair. Ooh, this could be pretty nasty if the Grimhammers are able just to get all these goblins out of the way. Okay, poison blades. Poison blades do happen to give the goblin warriors extra range. That means more models are going to be hitting the structure when the battalion is clumped, or more models would be hitting the units, and the wagon is now on the field. So always going to have to prepare and grab some Mountain Orc brutes from the Mountain Orc Lodge. We'll see if he happens to do that. Oh, okay, now he's got Runes of Angmar on the field too. That's his tier 2 pick. He's going for the White Wolves. Likely to see some pretty good harass from that unit. And now he's got the Mountain Orc Lodge coming up, trying to let the units here replenish. Ooh, does he see that? He does not see that. Mineshaft in production, okay. Deep Delving is Badger's tier 2 choice with the rebuild pivot. Again, I do like the use of Goblin Archers here by Ahwehawe. You don't really see the unit too often. Hadhod is Badger's first hero pick for the match. One thing I always see Old Nosy do with Hadhod is that he will always pop Hadhod in and out of tunnels and use Sabotage just to delete farms and whatnot as fast as he can where it may count. But the White Wolves being here, now is he queuing up a set. He does have a second battalion, but they're not on the move quite yet. It'd be pretty good to see Golfenbull in this game. Okay, Grimhammer is pushing back the Goblin Archers. And we have to see double wagon, so they're definitely going to get deleted now by the White Wolves. Let's see. Yeah, 2 battalions of White Wolves. Let's see him. He does happen to have Mountain Orc brutes on the field with his goblins now. No pikes here though for Erebor at all. And he gets 1 wagon. Going after the next wagon. Alright, over here. He is going to save this mine. No, he's not going to save the mine shaft. Unless he could get lucky. Alright, he's got the second wagon taken care of. White Wolves going on the eco harass now. And double cave troll by Ahwehawe for the harass as well. So Badger's going to have to deal with double cave troll and double White Wolf battalion harass. Ooh, Hadhod hanging around the White Wolves with some pikes. And he does happen to have Keen Eye on autocast for the structure armor debuff. That's going to be a little bit janky because Hadhod's going to want to stop constantly when he may be near a structure and prioritize using that ability. So that could get Hadhod killed if he ends up leaving that. And we do see Badger over here with a Warrior Acclaim. So there is quite a power point difference here. 575 CP for Badger versus 1000 though for Ahwehawe. So where are those 2 cave trolls though? Did they actually die? Okay, that's 1. Maybe they died earlier. Ooh. Always making the Dead of Honor. Very cool. These guys do have a quick recruitment time. 65 speed as well, so they're pretty good on that side. And he's got a level 2 troll there now. Okay, 3 battalions of White Wolves here for Badger. If he could, not for Badger, for Ahwehawe. If Ahwe can just get Golfenbill, it's going to be a pretty big deal in the match, because Golfenbill is going to be increasing their speed, experience gain, and I think the last value is leadership is damage. I believe that's what it is. And we obviously Ahwe using the cave troll on rock throw mode. So he's had more claim for a little bit of time. He hasn't had the opportunity to really drop in the base yet, though. Maybe he can get a good wagon drive-by. Oh, am I using it here? Very nice. Okay, he's going to likely clear this tunnel and the 4 goblin caves here if he gets the opportunity to do so. But always seems to be hustling back to his base right now for the cycle trample on the more reclaimed veterans. Yeah, you can see that right here. So if he can get some good cycle trampling in, then Badger's not really going to get much value on this power. Let's take a look back over here.
Greetings, brethren. The grim abbot stand prepared.
And it looks like always making the troll sentry, which is pretty cool to see. You don't see that too often. They do have a pretty generous range from the fort, though. It is pretty generous. Okay, 975 to 575. If Ahwe could get rid of this production group, that would be a pretty big win right here for him. But he is going for an alternate spellbook path, and in this match in particular. We have seen for the League season that the dominant play is still the left side of the spellbook between Frozen Waste there coming into Worm and Balrog. So it is good to see that people are changing up these spellbook choices.
Here they come! Here they come! I long for battle. Sigyn Udrig at your command.
It's actually nice to see the Dunish Axeman, not Dunish Axeman, Dunish Spearmen get made from the inn. You don't see them too often, but they are an inn unit, so that would explain why. It's very. Our inn system is entirely dependent on the region that you're playing in. So, like, if you're in the Gondor region, you would happen to be having access to Barandor swords or Veterans of Osgiliath, but this region gives you the Dunlending Spearmen. And over here it would be the Erebor guards for the good factions. Okay, Hadhod and Glowing. Hadhod level 5. He's got both abilities on autocast though, not that great. Glowing shown level 3. Dead of Honor chasing. Oh, he's skipping the builder actually. A little bit interesting. Brand managing the trolls, and we do happen to see Ahwe starting to produce Gundabad stone trolls. Let's take a look at the damage on against the wagon. Not bad at all. Brand is trying to punish the Gundabad stone troll quite well though, and right here Brand is going to die by the White Wolves. Frozen Waste support and everything. Ooh. Good exit there with the pikes, but not enough to prevent the White Wolves. And Badger does happen to have Thor's Horde now. So depending on how he uses this, it could be some pretty massive value for him, but we'll have to wait and see. Gundabad Stone Troll level 3, meaning it can heal out of combat, which is going to be a pretty big deal for that unit. Okay, 650 CP for Erebor, 1000 still for Misty.
Form up, Sigyn Udrig.
Misty very close to that tier 4, about 2 points away here. And where is Thor's Horde going to be dropped? He does happen to pick up the gold. So Badger's got the 7,500. He could be queuing up a bunch of heroes right now. It would be a good idea if he purchased the fortress armor at this point in the game. Ooh, wait a second though. Gloin is going to go down. And Gloin goes down from the dead of Anor. And yep, Thor's Horde Dragon is looking to be taking out the Goblin Caves, the rubble, some units in the area. Hadhod also gone. The White Wolf spam by Ahwehawe is pretty good here. No Golfing Bow though. And we got Durin's Band coming up. Very nice. Looks like Ahwehawe's trying to close. And he whips on the wagon. Okay, Ahwehawe continuing to come down the center. Now, it looks like he's struggling to use the Breathe Fire ability. Yeah, now he's going. Okay. Definitely struggled on trying to path that one. King Dane, Stonehelm, shown here by the base. Looks like Brand's back on the field too, so level 1 Dane still. I mean, Badger's basically done. Like, he's been done for a hot minute. Brand surviving and the whip. Balrog has expired.
Let's get to the building.
Okay, at this point, Badger should call GG. I can't really see him making a comeback here. He's got sending the goats now. What's happening here? Up the horn buff. Okay, it looks like Ahwehawe's going to make a final push pretty soon here. He's got 3 gun-to-bed stone trolls lined up. And I would say he has the fortress armor because oil casks are available and he's got the statues outside. Level 4. It's a big deal. And more replaying. Okay, gun-to-bed stone trolls take out the pillar. Brand knocks back a stone troll. Brand does die from the White Wolves. Yeah, so the more upgrades you buy for these guys, the slower they get. It's about a -7% speed decrease for every single upgrade you buy. So in total, they could be 21% slower. And now, yep, unfortunately, they are going to end up choking and hitting the pikes with that one. So quite unfortunate. Okay, what do we see here? Urshak for Ahwehawe. He's got the upgrades queued up.
Kaza de Manu!
I'm honestly kind of surprised Badger hasn't called GG at this point. I mean, he's got 450 CP, but always kind of had the game. Red Axe popping off. But Ahwehawe going on the fortress now. Yep. GG's to Ahwehawe here. Okay, let me go ahead and adjust the scoreboard. I'll get the next game up. Give me 1 second to get it. All right, kicking off game 2 here for the league match between Ahwehawe and Badger. We have Ahwehawe on the left of Westfold playing as Lothlorien, going up against Badger playing as Guldur on the right-hand side of Westfold. So let's see how this one goes. It is a pretty decent matchup for DG as far as early trades go with Harass, specifically because Rabble are pretty efficient for costing 100. And the baseline damage of 50 slash mixed with a DG spellbook really gives them the edge in this particular matchup. And we happen to see that Badger's got 3 mills and what looks to be a 4 jail coming in right over here. So always starting with 3 farms and a green pasture. So putting the green pasture over here is a pretty decent idea for Ahwehawe. Because when someone's doing a 4 jail, they're more likely to be putting that structure near any kind of rock that's going to be protecting it like this, so units can't get by on the side and clump around it extremely well. But in this case, Badger is going to be running into the problem of Lothlorien doing a cav start. So it's going to be proving a little bit of a problem here for DG. And always going to be following up with the Galadrim garrison and not another farm. So economy wise, he's doing okay because again, he's got his green pasture spread out on its own, so it's producing 15 resources of tech here at level 1 and about the same over here for his Galadrim garrison, but that's giving him 10 in this economy radius, I believe, unless it's upgraded and changed now if this is higher than 97. But you can see that Rajas the Ninth are here. And he already popped a lantern, used it once. And he had dropped a volley on the 1st Battalion of Rabble. So now Badger has to wait for his pikes to counter the cavalry.
Our spears will defend the Golden Wood.
And he's making pikes in his base for the anticipated cav eco harass, but he's also getting Felbrut on the field rather quick himself. Joe the Grave is his tier 1 pick. Would be a good time to use that now. Yep, trying to get them. But now with slows and how they work against cavalry and mounted heroes, you have to account for the deceleration to kick in, which takes about maybe like 2 seconds, as you saw right there. So it's not like immediate, but now we see that Badger's able to get this this Malorn tree out of the way with the lantern purchase. So it's going to be pretty good for him, not so great for Ahwehawe. And Badger is capturing the center signal fire at this point. Ooh, Felbrut on the field though, going right after the Riders of the Ninth. Now, Ahwehawe, being from patch 202, he's not as familiar with some of the core DG faction, core Age of the Ring factions like DG, and all the nuances that they're able to kind of work with, such as Felbrud being the cavalry counter. But as you can see, he's going to end up having the pikes ready to go. He's got a 2nd Battalion of Riders of the Ninth on the field as well. So that Felbrud Battalion is now diminished, but he's got a 2nd Felbrud Battalion on the field. Badger doing pretty well with the harass and getting Ahwehawe where he can. 550 CP to 500 on Lothloriens. And ooh, and is he going to get this builder now too? Looks like he's pivoting. He's trying to get the Balorn tree, but it's going to end up upgrading into a new object. So we happen to see right here there is a lantern that was purchased. Pikes were not in place by Ahwehawe at this point. So Badger got some pretty good trample value there, but he's got to keep on moving and get away from the pikes. And we do happen to see that the Felbrud were caught in the stun radius out here. And now they're not going to end up getting entirely wiped because the pikes weren't in the cleanest position. But Felbrud continuing to chase the Riders of the Ninth. And Ahwehawe has 3 battalions at this point, 600 CP to 550. Badger with 1300 in the bank. Let's take a look at Ahwehawe's base. So he's only got 1 garrison still, but the fact that he hasn't lost any Riders of the Ninth is a really big deal. Still got 3 battalions. He could easily make a well back in his base to replenish them when necessary. But he's got to be careful that he doesn't run into those pikes there, because the lantern stun will have pushed them back slightly. And again, he's trying to constantly kite the Felbrud through his pikes, and you can see that pretty clearly right there. Okay, let's take a look over here. Badger with a 2nd jail, continuing to push forward at this point. Ahwehawe a little unsure what to do with his cavalry, because we happen to see that the Felbrud is getting pretty good value at chasing them, so he doesn't necessarily want to put them near a farm on their own. If Badger wanted to, he could upgrade to Sinethra Sisters and end up kiting the cavalry off from a farm harass point, because Sisters deal splash damage. And they're pretty good against Cav. They're trying to clump up on the economy structures simply for that reason. And he's going to get that tree. Tough hit for Ahwehawe there, because that lantern was almost back, but another bad hit here for Badger. The pikes catching the Felbrud like that. Now he's only got 1 Felbrud battalion left. The 2nd garrison appears to be over here, pretty far away from the base. And I lied. He's got the other Felbrud battalion attacking the garrison down here. Okay, 9 points of DG. And there's about like a 1 point difference here if Lothlorien did not spend for another tier 1, but CP wise, they are the same. Level 2 Spire incoming, so we're going to see some Castellan support, and hopefully Risen Dead soon, but we do have Spawn and Karkaroth kicking in from DG. Hopefully we're going to see some good harass with this rather than like sniping. Because Ahwehawe doesn't have a hero yet, but he does have a well in the back of his base. Okay, good tramples from the Riders of the Ninth. Again, clean tramples. He's just got to be careful of the Felbrud. Okay, 675 CP, 1400 in the bank, 700 CP for DG. Very little in the bank, about 300. He must have just spent money on a Castellan, and he did. So that's going to be coming out now. Yeah, not great Cav value here for Ahwehawe. Cav's been shut down this entire game. Because I think he's a little concerned with the Felbrud catching them at any point. He just doesn't want to lose them. If he were to tech to Amaranth and Darien, though, they would be the better option right now with the fact that the Felbrud are on the field and Badger seems to be doing pretty well with them. Let's look at this volley damage. Not a lot of damage. Not a lot at all. I think he was hoping to have killed them with that when they were caught in the stun. Using the refresh slave's ability from the mill, he ends up being able to defend here. This is really good when you basically just need units very quickly, or there's like strictly pikes harassing you. But now we see Orphan on the field here, and I wonder in this moment if that was intentional, just because there is like Fell Brood, and he would be better off with Rumil sniping away at the Fell Brood. But we won't know right now at the very least. We do have the Hjorn coming to the field shortly enough. And it looks like he's dropping it here, but not the best move. If he's not careful when the pike's near, then it's just going to die. And he could have put it in Wicked Slumber if he really thought about it, like in a quicker manner. But he walked right in the pike, so the Hjorn completely died there. 750 CP for Guldur and 600 for Lothlorien, but he does have 2k in the bank. We are likely to see that used on some units right now, though.
Sylvan sentries, here at your order.
And the Fell Brood used the Terror on the cavalry. Very nice. Okay, 15 points here for DG, 800 CP. Ahwehawe is quite behind. I think it's really the fact that like he's been losing cavalry battalions in and out, but not like the whole battalion, but he just keeps replenishing them at the very least. So that's where the PowerPoint difference is really coming from right now. Outside of like some good harass by Badger, that's probably the biggest culprit. Now Wither does not disable active stuff like a well on a structure. That is not possible. So this was kind of a really odd call by Badger here. I think he at the time thought that he could disable the well at the very least here, but that doesn't work for abilities that disable. Things like that cannot be disabled because they're just passive.
Can't you leave us alone?
More orcs from the dungeons.
And we got Harbingers of Shadow and a level 3 mill. DG's at 900 CP. You know, fun fact though, I really don't know how many people may or may not have known that disable abilities cannot disable active / passive things, but only things like Starlit Lanterns that would be active at that point. But like an active passive like a well cannot be disabled by a disable ability. That's why with Haradwe, Hasharan's Poison Blade is just really good because you're poisoning the area around a well. So units basically will not heal as well as they could because they're dealing with the poison damage at the same point. Okay, good trample from the riders coming in here. Ahwehawe needs to consider upgrading this, and he's going to get that upgrade. Very nice. Orphan level 3. Where is the Harbinger's Shadow? They're inside this clump here. Pretty spooky on the front. Spawning Karkaroth here about to catch Rumil. And is he going to reposition, move Rumil down a little bit, save him? Save him. Very nice, very nice. Looks like the Alpha Warg got the kill. The rest of the Wargs died. Okay, really good use of the Terror on the Fell Brood from Badger in this game. Very nice use. 1000 CP to 525 though. Level 3 Fell Brood, level 1. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're level 3 is really helping them win that fight there. I feel like if it was 3 Riders of the Ninth against level 2 and level 1 Fell Brood, it would have been different. But we do happen to see that Orphan could be on the out here. Harbinger's Shadow trying to get the green pasture down. Now they just happen to use their ability called a Deep Rot, which is just dealing damage over time. And if I'm not mistaken, any rates that kill at level 3, yeah, it spawns uncontrollable rates around the structure. Sorry, it's been a while since I've actually seen this unit hit level 3. Okay, 2700. We do have to see Necromancer coming down front and center. War Harbinger's Shadow following through. 19 points here for DG. Now, Lothlorien does have the Hjorn power available. Let's see if they end up using it well. Necromancer is going to be taking a decent beating from the Hjorn and the infantry attacking it, and he's slow enough that unfortunately he's not going to get out because he's just not leveled. But Sylvan Ally is coming in to confirm the kill on the Necromancer as well. And looks like Ahwehawe. Ooh, the Harbingers are still on the fortress. Okay, again, the Felbrew just kind of chilling, following the riders around. Deep Rot on the fortress. Yeah, Lothlorien's got nothing here. Badger played a killer DG this game for sure. Ravagers. Ooh, we're going for level 3, Joe. Very cool. And Guanther coming up for the tier 4, very nice. And GG's to Badger on game 2 here for the series. Well played. Very nice to see DG. Okay, let me go ahead and get the next game up. Okay, game 3 is going to be a nice Isengard versus Misty Mountains. Alright, kicking off game 3 of the series between Ahwehawe and a Badger. We happen to have Badger on the bottom left of Izuhara playing as Misty Mountains, going up against Ahwehawe playing as Isengard. Now, Ahwehawe, again, as I've said, is from 202, which is the vanilla balance patch. So Isengard is a faction that he is very familiar with because Isengard in Age of the Ring is relatively, I would say, among all the Age of the Ring factions, pretty vanilla. I think, you know, like most 202 players, when they come in and play, they end up choosing Isengard. A little bit of a weird build here by Ahwehawe. I'm surprised he's doing like a clan steading like right here instead of like a third farm here and the clan steading protecting that farm. A little bit of a weird build to start by him. But Badger with the 4 farm start, and he's going for the troll lair opening. Okay, so as we know, Isengard can have some problems with the matchup in regard to monsters in the early game, but it really all comes back to how Isengard ends up playing it. If they are going to be handling the monsters rather well, like can they position themselves correctly? Frozen Waste being the pick. I'm not entirely sure Frozen Waste is the best start here. I feel like Cave Bats or Fellwind would be better if the troll is your first unit, just because you can get rid of pikes attacking the troll, or you can debuff pikes attacking your troll. So it's less of a risk if your troll control is not that perfect. But we are already at the point where we got 2 units heading towards Misty's base, and the first cave troll is on the move. It would be nice to see him grab a tree with the cave troll, but I am not sure if he will. We do have another cave troll in queue with the goblin cave producing goblin warriors. And the next Wildman sword coming through, but it looks like always also taking the time to creep Badge's Wargler over here on this side of Izuhara. Okay, and he does happen to get that one farm here. Kind of a big deal, but we'll see how the cave troll gameplay is here with Badger. We have 2 Wildman Pikes with a sword up here. He's queuing up 2 units out of this group. He's going to be pairing the sword with that pike, I assume. And it looks like he's just splitting it off, okay. And it looks like the troll is decelerated inside those units, so if he could just turn around. Nope, okay. Badger got really lucky there. The Ahwehawe did not try and turn around and finish that troll real fast. So always yet to choose a tier 1 still in the game, but now he's gone for the horn buff. And he's actually creeping Badger's Warglare at this point, so always crept every Warglare on the map now except for this one right over here. 600 CP to 500. Okay, double cave troll. What's happening in Badger's base? 3 goblin caves, still producing the trolls. I feel like at this point, Ahwehawe, yeah, there we go. He's getting Urk scouts onto the field. Good call. 1 pike battalion coming from this clan setting. And uses the horn buff over here on the front line. He does not happen to kill this troll here, so if he could just grab a tree with that troll, it'd be pretty good for him. Okay, he gets rid of the troll in his base. 700 CP for Eisen, 500 for Misty. Devastation dropped, very nice. If Badger wanted to like do any lumber mills, that would have like set him back right here. Now what else does he have? We're still just spamming Wildman and Urk scouts at this point. Misty's at 475. Ahwehawe could be clumping against Badger a bit better here. I feel like this is not the best I've seen in terms of harass at some points. Getting a little bit loose around the farms here. 850 CP for Eisen. We do have Wildmen with torches. And Badger went for They Are Coming. So this could be putting in a lot of work now, as long as Badger ends up microing it pretty well. We do see the Uruk scouts, on the other hand, trying to press it back. Wolfgar is always pick. That's an interesting one. I think he just wanted to buff the Wildman and make do with what he can. Surprisingly, he did not go for alerts to transition into Uruks later. Do have the second pit here, so one of these is going to get upgraded to level 2 for sure. Unless he's just going to be pumping double scout dope. He's upgrading one of them to 2, very nice. He's upgrading this one to level 2 for the clan settings.
We will fight for Saruman.
Okay, let's see. We do have the Dunish longhouse on the field, which is pretty cool. Likely to see some Dunish axemen for the splash damage. He's also going for the Uruk-hai shield bearers at this point for the armor bonus. But Badger with the snow trolls now. Maybe they are going to end up turning this around a little bit for him. We'll have to wait and see. He doesn't have another battalion queued up, so he's got to be a little bit scarce on that side. Make sure he doesn't lose them too quickly. Okay, Isengard's at tier 3. Wolfgar on the retreat. Very likely that he would have gotten chopped up by anything else if it was following along. He is getting a second battalion of snow trolls on the field. It's kind of interesting to me that the troll start here didn't work out on the map for Badger in particular here, just because, like, again, Eisen can struggle against monsters, but I think Ahwehawe played it pretty decently in the early game position. He's queuing up a third battalion of snow trolls now. That's not going to be good for Ahwehawe if he's not fully aware. But I will say, like, the Manslayers, I don't think those are the right call right now. This unit will likely just get deleted by the Snow Troll because they have a scalar against elites, which includes heroics. Because they are in the elite category, just like one tier higher. Devastation for the economy gain there. As you can see, though, Ahwehawe is building a forward siege works. He's trying to go for some ballistas. He's upgrading it to level 2. And here's the third battalion of snow trolls. Is he gonna queue up another one? No, he's not gonna queue up another one. Let's see, the Manslayers have arrived. Yeah, unfortunately, flanking damage is coming into play at this point with how the snow trolls are positioned and the manslayers. Man, they really are getting torn up there. Very rough. He's going for a giant bat right now. Kind of interesting. I mean, there's no cavalry on the field. They are coming just here. Got the troll destroyer hitting the field.
Come to my aid, Demendings!
And we got one berserker running down the front. Oh, even the troll destroyer kind of messes up the manslayer. It's interesting. And the worm completely nuked the manslayers right there. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. That is pretty crazy. Fair bit of money down the drain there for Ahwehawe, I will admit. Fair bit of money down the drain. So we got another battalion showing here in the base. Looks like it was just freshly made. Axe Throwers get the giant bat. And he actually put the Axe Throwers in the tower. Very nice. Third ballista is on its way. Always been making some lumber mills in the back of his base for the economy. And GG's. So it's a 2-1 series. Very well played here between Ahwehawe and Badger. I'll see you guys for the next one.